You want to allow drugs to come through our southern border? We're going to tariff you. You want to allow them to come through Canada? We're going to tariff you. China, if you're going to allow this stuff to get sold in our country, largely produced in China, we're going to add another 10% to your share. We are going to cost your countries, your economies. We're going to cost your businesses billions.
I mean, it is not unexpected in a sense. It may be unexpected to Americans who thought Trump was going to lower their prices. Because if you voted for Trump because you thought he was going to bring grocery prices down, I have some very bad news for you. A lot of our produce comes from Mexico. 2/3 of the tomatoes that Americans purchase are from Mexico. 90% of the avocados that they purchase are from Mexico, just to mention 2 examples. So that guac is definitely going to cost extra.
Things are going to get worse before they get better, as said by Elon Musk, self-described first buddy. And you have to look no farther than Trump's tariffs. My name is Dina Doll with the MeidasTouch Network. Let's break this down.
China's not paying tariffs right now?
The tariffs are paid by the American companies that import the Chinese goods. That's the way it's such a fundamental, and I see you looking a little confused on this one. Yeah, I'm confused. This is the way tariffs work. What Trump did is place tariffs on Chinese imports. By the time the imports get here, China's been paid for this stuff. Maybe they get net 120 terms, right? But in a sense, China has already transacted. The American company who brings the goods in pays the tariffs.
Really?
You're kidding right now.
No, I thought he said he was raising the tariffs by 50 to 100% for Chinese imports.
You gotta clip this. I'm begging you. You gotta clip this and send it to me.
I'm genuinely
None
confused.
of this stuff is getting cut out, right?
No.
Companies and markets are taking notice of Trump's continued threat to impose tariffs on places like China, Mexico, and Canada, which will, as we know, drive up prices that Americans pay on everyday goods. Steve Madden, the shoe company, has been planning this for a while. Quote, "We have been planning for a potential scenario in which we would have to move goods out of China more quickly. And so as of yesterday morning, we are putting that plan into motion. And you should expect to see the percentage of goods that we source from China to begin to come down more rapidly going forward. But if you think they're planning to produce their goods in the United States, you'd be wrong. They plan on moving production to countries such as Cambodia, Vietnam, Mexico, Brazil, and other countries. And even while doing that, they said it's going to be harder to produce their goods because so many items in the supply chain are produced in China. It will just make it more complicated and more expensive for them to produce their goods. And they still won't be producing it in the United States. And this is just one of many of the companies having to grapple with the fact that they are going to be dealing with tariffs by a president who has no concept or desires to have no concept to know how the economic policy of his tariffs will impact American businesses and American consumers.
So let's move to your second chart about what a Trump plan would actually do to the economy if implemented the way he's pitching it.
Yeah, so why are these economists so opposed to Trump's plan? Because the economic effects would be pretty terrible. This is a study done by Bloomberg Economics, and they found that Harris's plan did not have much change in either the GDP or inflation, which in a sense is a good thing at this point. But look at what Trump's plan would do. Trump's plan would cut the GDP by 8.9%. And let me put that in perspective for you. This is roughly twice the amount that the GDP went down during the financial crisis.
Wow.
So we would be looking at something between a recession and a depression. And interestingly, as I'm sure people know because we've talked about this many times, the tariffs would cause certainly a part of this. But the biggest cause actually of this drop are the mass deportations that Trump is talking about, because he would take huge pieces of our labor force out of the country, send them back to or send them somewhere else. And the result would be business wouldn't have labor. They wouldn't be able to produce things, and you'd have this enormous economic contraction. So this is something we've never seen before in terms of scoring a set of policy proposals from a presidential candidate. The other reason why Harris seems to be doing better or maybe doing better for her economic thoughts relative to Trump is maybe people are figuring out what's actually in these two plans. And one of the most important things in these two plans are the differences in their tax proposals. Harris's tax proposal would raise incomes for people at the bottom 20%, for people in the 20 to 40% percentile by fairly significant amounts. She would raise taxes for people at the higher incomes down here in the 99 to 100 and the 95 to 99. Trump does the opposite. He raises after-tax incomes for people at the highest incomes up here. And believe it or not, if you're at the bottom, Trump's tax plan would actually increase your taxes slightly. So maybe people are figuring out these kinds of differences and changing their view of her economic plan versus Trump's economic plan.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is shaping up to be a Democratic leader in the resistance against Donald Trump. He's already said that he plans on calling a special session of the legislature in order to properly fund the many lawsuits they plan on filing against the Trump administration based on Trump's announced policies and the protection of California residents. Well, Newsom also just announced the fact that given the fact that Trump plans on doing away with the Biden administration's $7,500 tax credit to help promote clean energy, in particular as to do with cars, California, he says, will be offering its own rebate to replace this. Not only are they planning on offering their own rebate, but he says they plan on excluding Tesla and other manufacturers. Of course, this has caught the ire of Elon Musk because Elon Musk won't be benefiting from this rebate. Now, it's interesting because California has had a tax credit rebate in order to promote clean energy vehicles. I mean, California is a leader in the laws, the pushing of clean energy vehicles. It has passed a law saying that in 2035, no new car can be sold that's solely gas powered. And other states have adopted this. So they have always in the past tried to promote clean energy. They had a rebate, clean energy rebate in the past, and 42% of those tax credit rebates went to, you guessed it, Tesla. So Elon Musk, when he continues to degrade California and criticize California and say that California is this failing state, well, he and Tesla hugely benefited financially from California. 42% of the money that California set aside for tax credit rebates in the past went to his company. So rather than California being this failing state, California hugely invested in Tesla. But this time around, no small matter, I'm sure, to the fact that Elon Musk is now evidently the first buddy and plans on heading this Department of Efficiency. He has gone completely MAGA. Governor Newsom doesn't think that California needs to subsidize Tesla anymore. So this new rebate is there to help competitors of Tesla get a foothold in this electric vehicle market in order for there to be more options for Californians and other Americans, more affordable options. And so Elon Musk, of course, isn't happy about it.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.